I'm the World Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Joe Walker, and I would just like to take a moment to send my sincerest congratulations to everyone that's nominated for a Grand Rapids Hip Hop Award. I had the honor and the privilege of writing about the Grand Rapids Hip Hop Awards and covering it during its first run during my time with the Grand Rapids Press newspaper. And I'm happy that it's returned. And it's something that the community needs. It's something that our hip hop community, the culture in itself, could really grow from and be a catalyst for more unity, more camaraderie, and more adulation and praise for the work, for the effort, for the artistic integrity that's being shown by all of these artists. This awards show is special to me for several reasons. So let's start with the first one. I was introduced to the hip hop community in Grand Rapids back in the late 90s when I was with thegroovespot.com, the Groovespot online hip hop magazine. And I was introduced to the music of Six Man, Who Am I? And it was that song, which I reviewed and we shared with the world and got responses from all over the globe, which was unexpected. I guess we didn't know what we were going to receive. We didn't know what type of response we would get. We just knew that we enjoyed the song. We were moved by the song. We were impressed by the song. Its quality, the lyricism, the delivery, the timing, its presentation with the cover art, everything. And that something of that quality, that feel came from Grand Rapids. It came from West Michigan. It came from where we were. And we were doing something with the internet that at the time no one was doing. So to be able to not only review the song, but to actually put it online and let people hear it. Arguably, it's one of the first songs to ever stream online. Streaming wasn't even a term back then for music online. But that happened. And Six Man was to perform at an event called Hip Hop Explosion. The crew came out, catch his performance, and we were able to meet so many people in the Grand Rapids hip hop community that night, including the Raps Around You crew. Rest in peace, Donna, Manchild, Broken Nose, DJ Nick Fury, composition. It's always going to be Nick Fury to me, and so many others, which started a relationship that I still have and cherish to this day. I returned to Grand Rapids after the Groovespot shut down in 2003, January of 2003 to be exact. I returned to Grand Rapids in a different capacity in the summer of 2003 when I joined the Grand Rapids Press. And after being welcomed during my run online with the Groovespot, I was welcomed to the city again, this time by Jonathan Jokes, Willie the Kid, and DJ Head DiBiase, and would eventually meet Victor Williams, the president of the Hip Hop Coalition. And everyone that I mentioned, they've had a significant impact on my life, a significant impact on my career. And each one of them, I believe, can speak to how much I care about the hip hop community, how much I care about the art of the music and the messages it has, past, present, and future. So to all the artists who are nominated for a Grand Rapids Hip Hop Award, I hope that you understand its prestige. And its prestige can be as prestigious as you make it. If you're nominated in a category along with someone who you may feel does not deserve or has earned their place in that category, take the opportunity to get to know them and their music and find out why. Have conversations with their fans and their followers. to find out what their appeal is and try to understand, because hip hop is eclectic. Hip hop has variety. Hip hop has a multitude of voices, faces, and sounds, presentation, and appeal. Hip hop is territorial. Hip hop is also universally welcoming. And the Grand Rapids hip hop scene represents that spectacularly. Always has, from my knowledge and from my experience. So again, to all the nominees, I say congratulations. To those who win, I say congratulations. And I say to those who don't win, who receive those nominations, congratulate those people who win. When you see Vic, when you see Jonathan Jokes, when you see Willie the Kid, walk up and shake their hands. Tell them thank you. Just express your gratitude for being a part of this event. I got to shout out my brother Six Man for his nominations. Got to shout out Fist, Sonny, Tai Chi, so many others who I have either written about or interviewed or rock shows with or hosted shows they were a part of or expressed my sentiments to them personally. Congratulations to you all. Good luck to you all. I wish you all the best of luck. Last but not least, Lady Ace. What Lady Ace and Ruben are doing with Push the Cypher. Again, we're talking about unity within the culture, unity within the scene, bringing all these different MCs together, all these different artists together to rock together. Whether they do or don't normally share the same space, being able to share that space and do it in a way that everyone enjoys, and it creates an opportunity for people to have new fans and to share fans and to grow fandom within that Grand Rapids hip hop scene. I was doing these evaluations of live performances at an event that Lisa Downey would host periodically called The Come Up. I was there the night that Lady Ace made her performance debut in Grand Rapids. I had the honor of evaluating her and giving her a score. I had the honor of sitting down with her and showing her the piece of paper that had the score on it and explain to her why we were doing that and have a conversation with Lady Ace. And to hear what she was hoping to do in the community, where her heart was, how she felt about the culture in general, and what she felt she could bring to the Grand Rapids hip hop scene. And the fact that she was able to do it and is still doing it, despite the flack, which I don't understand. Let's not do that. Let's not do that for the artists who are attempting and making strides in growing this culture and growing this scene. There have been numerous artists who have come along, who have been successful. I can just name after name after name after name, and each one of them at one point or another, for an accolade or another, had to deal with the flack for being successful. Let's celebrate. Lady Ace, I want to say thank you to you and Ruben, for what you're doing with Push the Cypher. When you hit the scene, you jumped on stage after your open mic performance, after your evaluation, when some MCs and artists was just up there rocking during their performance, and you jumped up and rocked with them and continued to do that from then on. Your first video concluded with a cipher of different artists from the scene. Lady Ace from the beginning invited you to underestimate me, she said. Go ahead, underestimate me. And you guys have done it. She has been underestimated. And at the same time, those underestimations have turned into surpassing all expectations. And she's using this platform to help other artists learn how to exceed those expectations together, how to exceed them together. So applause to her, to Lady Ace, to Ruben for what they're doing with Push the Cypher. I wish I could have been there on stage tonight to say some words, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. But I'm there in spirit. My heart is there. A lot of the artists that I admire, I hope you guys win. I don't want to say too many names, but I am going to say 6 man. I'm going to say it. So, hey, I'm open to all shots. I welcome them. But let's take shots respectfully. Talk to me. I love the scene. And whatever it is you're doing in the scene that's worth talking about, talk to me. Let's have a discourse. We don't have to be enemies. We don't have to be rivals. We don't have to use any bad words. We can just talk. When this event is over, when this year's Grand Rapids Hip Hop Awards is over, the winners are announced, people are walking away with their trophies, and some are only walking away with the nominations. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that in respectful ways and use that dialogue to build anticipation for next year's Grand Rapids Hip Hop Awards. Again, my name is the Word Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Joe Walker. I represent thisent.com. I'm also part of the Wrestling Heroes and Insiders podcast, aka The Whip Show. I was one of the first hip hop journalists online with the Groove Spot online hip hop magazine from 1998 to 2003. I joined the Grand Rapids hip hop scene, rejoined the Grand Rapids hip hop scene in 2003 as a writer for the Grand Rapids Press. And once that journey in my life came to an end, I continued to rep the scene through soultrain.com, which was a dream come true. To each one of you artists that appeared on soultrain.com, I can't tell you how much I loved that. Not just being able to do it, but to be able to log onto the site, not as a writer, but as a fan, and see your faces and hear your music. It was wonderful. And then right there in Grand Rapids with liquidae.com, shout out Doug Sims. Liquidae.com, we were bringing 1 million people to the site a year during Liquid's run, and it was awesome. It was awesome. But for validation of all hip hop artists, the articles are great, the interviews were great, but that award, it's like the whipped cream on a good piece of pie. It's like the candles on the birthday cake. We need that. Let's make this event a success and memorable, like a birthday with those candles. But we don't want to burn anything down. We want to make a wish, blow them out, and pray for success, prosperity, and another year of the Grand Rapids Hip Hop Awards. Peace.